Hello and welcome back to OpenSolar. My name's Christian and today we'll be running through Module 2 on OpenSolar, where we'll be deep diving into the Studio Designing Zone down the bottom here. So by this point, you should have a good general understanding of the OpenSolar platform from watching the first module, where we touched on each of these 4 zones and what they do. In today's demonstration, we'll be just focusing on this studio area, and we'll be looking at a few different types of solar designs. The first one, we'll be doing a standard residential design. The second, we'll be uploading an image and scaling that in to do a design. So this is in the case that you wouldn't have any imagery provided. And the third example, we'll be looking at a commercial design, so a bit of a more large-scale project. Now, just starting out, let's create a project from scratch together. We do that just to remind you here at the top right in the project zone, we click on New Project. Then we just get our address and we put it into this search bar here. So this is just searching Google. We select residential or commercial, and then we can put in some contact details there. So we already ran through some of that already. So let's just go through straight into create and design here. Now, first things first, once the map has loaded in, we just need to locate our roof that we're going to be designing on. So I know it's this roof here. You can also, if you like, check out the different imagery sources that we provide in OpenSolar, and they're really going to depend on your location. So if you click down the bottom left here on Choose Imagery, you can then switch this map type over to a different option. So for example, we can click on Bing here, and then check out the Bing imagery. So I can see that it's probably not as good as Google in this instance, so I'm just going to switch it back and use Google for this example. Now, once you've done that, you have a few different options. Now, some people just like to go straight in and choose their panel and start laying them down, but others like to use these drawing tools and measure out the roof line just to make sure everything's to scale and the measurements are lining up with what you expect. So I might just demonstrate that before we do our panel layout. And all you do is just zoom in on the property, click on Drawing Tools, then click on Roof. Now you have this little blue node, and then you can just click on the different parts of the roof like this. So just clicking once each time on the different points. I've just chosen this south kind of west facing roof here as the roof that we're going to design on. And now you can see that they're all linked up now. So it creates this yellow-orange line around the place. This kind of orange-ready inside area is the setbacks that we provide you. And you're able to edit those setbacks within the control area here. So this is kind of just like a warning area because you're getting close to the roof edges. Now, once you've done that, you can click on a particular roof edge like this, and then right-click on it to select that the edge type. So in this case, we're going to put in ridge, and then for this bottom one, we're going to select gutter. Now this instantly knows that this roof is facing on an azimuth of 235 degrees. So pretty much, west-southwest in this case. Once you've done that, you can click on this roof layout again, and if you like, you can use the auto layout function. So by clicking that, it will automatically put the panels in for you like this. However, you might not like the auto layout design that it does, and in that case, you'd want to delete the panels, and then you can just design manually as you normally would by clicking on plus panel group. I'm just going to select a different panel in this instance, click on select here, and then choose one from my list. I might take an LG panel in this case. And just to remind you, these are the list of modules that I use on a regular basis, but you can also go in and search our database of modules here as well. I'm going to take the LG 380. Once that's been selected, I can then go in, click on plus panel group, and start laying them down here. So you'll see as I come into this roof area, it automatically picks up the angle of the roof, which is nice. So then just clicking and dragging as you normally would, and releasing when you're happy with it. Then you can just add in panels in these surrounding boxes here. And you can see now we've got 14 panels. Over on the left, these are the panel group settings for this specific array. And you can click on Move Horizontal if you'd like to use this yellow bubble to drag them around the roof, like so. And you have a few other settings in there as well, such as Fill the Rectangle, which fills in all the panels in this area. And you can also duplicate the array. There's a few different functions there that you can play around with. But you can see here we've got the azimuth 235 degrees. The slope of the roof we want to set here as well. So I might put that as, I'm going to say it's 25 degrees. And I'm going to remove the tilt racks because I don't want to use racks in this instance. And we want to make sure these are in portrait. That's correct. And then you can also put in any gaps between the panels here. So let's say there is like a 40 centimeter gap between these groups. And you can see there it just creates a little gap for you in between those two rows. So once we're happy with that, we can click out anywhere on the map and it returns us to this main menu. And perhaps we want to add in another row just above here in landscape orientation. You can do that at the top. Just click on plus panels again. Just add in a few as you normally would. And then once you've laid them down, just over here, switch over to landscape, then use this little yellow bubble to drag them down. Perfect. So now you can see we have a panel group of 14, a panel group of 3, so total 17 panels, 6.5 kilowatt system. This shows the offset percentage. So when you'd enter your customer's electricity bill information and their usage, this would be the percentage offset from the solar system. And then this is if you put in a battery. It shows you how many kilowatt hours of storage is available. So don't take this 450% figure too realistically because we have not put any usage in for this project yet. Okay, great. Now going down, let's add in our inverter by clicking this drop down. Just click on plus inverter and we can select one from our list again. So in this case, I might just type in Fronius if I want to get quick access to a Fronius inverter and then hit select on the one I want. And as I showed you in the first module of OpenSolar, you can add the stringing in with the inverter here by clicking on plus stringing, just clicking through the panels like so to add in that string. And then you can add in another string if need be. So this can be our second string, and we'll just make one for the top there. Then you can also add in a battery if you like, but something I showed you previously as well is the ability to add in multiple systems. In here, we'll add in a battery and just select it from our list. Great, and so once you've added in that battery, it will then appear up here. You can see 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage at the top there, and then you can rename your system options. So this one, let's call it solar and battery. This one, let's just call it solar. Quick and easy title. So this is what the customer is going to see when you send out their proposal for the systems. Once you've done that and you've configured all of your hardware and everything, you can then come down to the pricing and payment options area. So if we jump down this pricing tab, you can see here, you can select a pricing scheme. So I want to use this Philippines pricing per watt. That's one specifically obviously set up for the Philippines in this case. And that calculates out, you can see 252,000 pesos here. And I just want to select that same pricing scheme for my other system as well. Or I might even want to use, in this case, a markup percentage. And the way this works is if I select this, it takes into account all of the costs that I've entered in this control panel. So you have a cost list in there, and I'll take those into account and give you a marked up price. So you can see here, it's given me this price. And if you just want to see that breakdown, you can click on this button here. So you can see the cost of the modules, 157,000, inverters, 126,000, battery is 430,000. And then don't take these costs too seriously. These are suited from my Australian account, but you get the idea. You can enter in the cost of each different component, and then it will give you a total cost number, and then mark it up based on the percentage indicated in that pricing scheme. So in this case, it's 20% markup on the 717,000 there. you will also then get a margin or the profit on that job at the bottom here. So in this case, I'm just going to use the pricing per watt, just keep it nice and simple. And yep, you can see there's 640,000, and this one we've got 252,000. So essentially the difference there is just the battery price. Then you've got your incentives here. So any like government incentives you can enter in here, or you can set them up in control and then just apply them automatically in here. You've also got your payment options then. So in this case, I've just got a cash payment option for my customer, but you can also set up finance like loans and things like that. That's all set up in the control area too. And we'll be more looking into how to set up these payment and pricing schemes in the third module of OpenSolar, which will just focus on your account setup and this control zone here. Great. So this is pretty basic run through of residential design in OpenSolar. Now that we're happy with that, we can then go straight through to this My Energy page here and then click Save and Continue. Great. And now you can see we've got our design done here, the layout the same as you saw in Studio. You've got your hardware and everything else in this proposal template. So we already ran through this in the first module. Now let's just jump back and we'll look into our second type of design. Just going to go create new project again. And in this case, I'm going to show you how to upload an image for your design in case the imagery is not great. So just once again, putting in your address there, putting in your contact information in, and then going through to create a design. Now, once you're loaded in here, you can then again check on choose imagery, switch it over to any other imagery sources. So in this case, imagery is not great again. So what I might do now is just upload an image for the design. And to do that, you just want to open up you just want to grab that image from the folder that you have it stored in on your computer, and then just drop and drag it onto this map area. So I've just dropped in this image here. This is actually just a roof plan that I'm designing with. So you can use a roof building plan like this from the architect, or you can even just use a drone image of the house that looks nice as well. But I've just taken this as the example. And you can see here, this is facing in a northerly direction. You always want to keep that in mind because in this studio zone, north is always facing up towards the top of the screen here. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your designing. And when you're going to be uploading images, you want to always have it facing this northerly aspect. Now, once we've done that, we could again, if we want to draw out the roof line and so on, first thing we need to do though is just make sure that this is to scale properly. And to do that, you just click on Drawing Tools, click on Roof, and then take this point, and we just want to draw out a line along here to get the correct measurement. So if you can see this little number in here, it says 12,300, which is 12.3 meters. So I just want to stretch this out until I get to 12.3, which is about there. That's 12.29. So if I just click there, and then I want to hit the Escape key on my keyboard, and then all I have to do is just click Align down the bottom here. And I just want to align this yellow line up with the 2 points on the roof. So if I just zoom out a little bit further, just like this. So I'm just scrolling out with my mouse here, but you can use the plus and minus buttons in the bottom right. And then just clicking on Align again. And so that just sets those 2 points in place there. And now we're back to scale here correctly. And then as you normally would, you can then just click on plus panel group and just click and drag along the roof like this to add in your panels. Once again, making any adjustments you need to, so putting in gaps and things like that. And that's pretty much done. So once you've actually made it to scale, you can then just go and delete this line by clicking on it, then pressing delete. And then you're to scale there. So this is all good to go now. I would then just go through to the My Energy zone, and this is what's going to show to the customer. I just need to make sure down the bottom here that I click on this little image that I've uploaded, and then I want to click on Show to Customer. That makes it come up in the My Energy page. Whereas if I go back to this top view, I actually want to switch that off from being shown to the customer, because I just want to show them this design that I've done in here. And yeah, let's just go through to take a look at that. Perfect. So you can see here, all to scale, and that's the building plan that I've just designed on. All right, now let's jump into our third type of design. We'll go new project again, and we'll just put in an address for a commercial job. In this case, I'm actually just going to be doing a school in the Philippines, and I can just click on show address detail here if I want to put in any further information. I just want to make sure that this is selected as commercial, and then I can actually put in the business name here. So let's just, let's just call it ABC School, an easy example. And then once again, any contact information you can put in here. Then clicking on Create and Design takes us into Studio. Okay, great. So now we've got these buildings down here. Let's just so we'll say this is the school on this building, and we might say that there's a classroom here as well that we want to design on. So let's take these two roofs to design on today. And first step would just be to come in like you normally do. If you want to, you can draw out the roof line. In this example, I won't bother doing that. I'll just go straight in, select my panel type from my list, and then click on plus panel group. Then just clicking and dragging along the roof again, like this. And a good tip with commercial designing is to just draw out a quick right angle like I've done here. So I've just got 3 panels here, and then I've got the row going along here. Then you can just click on this fill rectangle function, and that will just fill in that whole space there, and it just speeds up the designing process when you're doing these larger commercial jobs. So once you've done that, you can put in a gap here if you need to. And if you click on this advanced layout button, you're able to add in a few more things. So you might say that there's modules per row of 2 modules, and that will then, bring those 2 module rows together and then give a space and then have another 2 rows here. So that's just another little function to be aware of as well. Another way to speed up your commercial designing process is if you click on that panel group and there's a similar roof nearby, you can just click on duplicate here. And then you can just drag it straight over to this next roof that you're going to be designing on as well. So that's another good thing to be aware of. But in this case, because this side of the roof over here is actually facing a different angle, I just want to make sure that the azimuth is correct. So in this case, I'll just put it as 300 because it is 180 degrees opposite, obviously, and then just place it back there. So that's one way you can do it. But for this example, we said that we'd use this roof over here. So I'm just going to, once again, click on plus panels and then just drop and drag them along the roof like that. Use that fill rectangle function to speed things up, and then add in, we'll say that there's, once again, 2 modules per row. It's a gap of 50 centimeters. Just delete this last row here. So deleting on them just by dragging along those panels again. Perfect. And now we've done that. Now we've done our commercial panel design. You can then just go in as you normally would, click on inverters, select, and then selecting obviously a commercial inverter. So I'll take this 27 kilowatt one from Fronius. Great. So that's how you do it. And yeah, once again, you can add in any more systems up the top here if you like. Add in any batteries and other componentry. You can do that all as well from here. Cool. So that's a wrap up of this studio zone. Hopefully you learnt some cool stuff today, and yeah, looking forward to having you guys on the third module where we'll be looking at the control zone and more into the account setup side of things. And yeah, if you have any questions in the meantime, always remember to just hit this support button. You can send us an email support@opensolar.com here, or jump into our help center, takes you into here, and look at any other training material we have. We do have a specific section just dedicated to the studio zone and doing your designing in OpenSolar. Thanks, and have a great day.